to stay ready, and so that your time is going to come, that he believes it's going to come shortly. So what is your reaction to him saying that?
Just some, I focus on each and every day on what I got to do, and just because where I am on the depth chart, don't let that dictate, my mindset each and every day, because you don't know whatever will happen or what could happen. So it's really, just keeping the mindset of just staying locked in, staying into everything, and remaining focused on the main thing.
Do you feel like you're kind of close to getting to where you want to be in terms of, getting a chance to play this year?
I don't think playing or not playing, is in my hands. I don't think. I think based on the situation, it's if things happen, things pan out where I play, then I'll be out there and I'll be ready to play. I said I'm ready to play right now.
He had a great quote where he said, you don't learn anything. I've never sat on the bench and said, I learned a lot today. Do
Yeah.
you agree with him on that? What are your thoughts when he said that?
Everybody perspective. So that's not nothing in my place to answer. That's nothing I can't answer, not answer. But I know for sure I'm not. I know if you see the quarterback play in the league right now, I know I'm capable of doing better than that.
So how do you feel like you've been progressing so far, and the reps that you have gotten?
Yeah, overall, I feel like I'm doing great. I'm doing what I need to do each and every day. Um, remaining focused, remaining mind on the complete mission. Not really get comfortable. I'm not comfortable being scout team player. Honestly, that's my situation. So I'm gonna make the best of it. And enjoy my moments. But overall, this isn't my end goal. Like I'm just enjoying myself, learning, doing everything I have to do, and um, just ready for my opportunity.
How frustrating.
That resurfaced clip of Malik Neighbors saying that the quarterback last year with Daniel Jones wasn't the problem. So when you look at this Russell Wilson situation, Tony, he says he's got a lot more football left in him. Okay, he's going to say all the right things. Do you think we've seen the last of Russell Wilson?
Honestly, I hope we have. And I say that because I just looking at him and his career, his legacy, like you talked about, if ever there was somebody who played himself out of a Hall of Fame, it's Russell Wilson.
Really?
And I say that because look at what's happened ever since he left Seattle. When he was in Seattle, he was the man. He was making these good plays. He won a Super Bowl, went to 2 of them. But as soon as he left there, he went to Denver, signed that big old deal. They paid him $39 million to leave. He goes to Pittsburgh, plays there 1 year. He's out of there. Now he goes here and has 3 games. I just don't know if it's going to get any better, and I don't want to see him on a sideline holding a clipboard.
So you're very much under the "what have you done for me lately" thing, and taking away the first, decade of his career.
Absolutely, and I just don't think he's done himself any favors since he left Seattle, and I don't know, how's it going to get better? I don't know. So
I agree. I agree. I think you got to judge his career off when the Legion of Boom was there. He had a legendary defense, an all-time defense, and how much success he had. And then without that legendary defense, the success he had. Without that legendary defense, he's been 4-11, 7-8. 0-3 to start with the Giants. He was a winning football player in Seattle, and people said, hey, winning is football player, all this good stuff, all these accolades, and now you get to go on your own and you get to prove, hey, I'm this great quarterback. I'm this guy that's going to be dominant, and it just hasn't worked out that way.
All right, we will leave that right there because this.
So I'm going to combine these 2 videos. I'm going to talk about Sherman and Russell Wilson, Tony Gonzalez, and I'm going to talk about Shedeur Sanders. Now, we can start off with Shedeur and his comments, and the media got on him for saying that, and he should fade it to the black and all that type of stuff. But it's hard for a young man to sit on the bench and check out the NFL playlist and not have an opportunity to play and be going through what he going through, right? Pops made some miscalculations. He made some miscalculations, but I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason. And what they all went in frenzy about on ESPN and all that stuff is that he said that he's, better than some of the quarterback play in the league right now. And one could think Flacco ain't playing too well. Russell Wilson ain't playing too well. Spencer Rattler ain't playing too well. CJ Stroud ain't playing too well. Trevor Lawrence ain't playing too well. So, Jake Browning down there in Cincinnati ain't playing too well. But at the end of the day, the first month of the season is going to be shaky quarterback play. And if he gets his opportunity, people, and he doesn't do well right away, people's going to play that clip back. Don't forget when LeBron said, oh, Bronny's just as good as some of these guys in the league. They just kept throwing that clip back and back into his face, back into his face. So, he got to understand that very well. Medium trained, probably antsy, probably looking like Joe Flacco. Like, come on, man, let somebody else get a turn. But whatever he say is gonna be criticized. Um, a lot of people they mad because he getting more shine than Quinshawn Jenkins or the running back and a lot of the other rookies over there. Um, you know, what can you do about it? You know, people want to see him play, and at the end of the day, people say, "Well, I heard Chris Canty. I think it was Chris Canty say, the last time we seen him in preseason, he didn't do well with people who make the league, but we know they set him up for failure. Let's keep it real. We know what they did to him, man. And I said before, man, a lot of them black media members, man, their opinions are paid. They paid to push a narrative, and when they go off the script, they get fired. So a lot of them dudes fucked their money up while they was playing, and they got to get on ESPN and put on a minstrel show. Like I really don't respect a lot of those dudes that be on TV, man. Some of these dudes get out of body. Some of these dudes get out of body, and some of these dudes get out of body and they forget where they at and they get turned, talk real, and then you never see from them again. So, TV is, everything in Hollywood has become false. Everything in this world on virtual reality or on the internet, virtual reality has become false. A lot of times you see these people in person and they talk all that shit, and it's like it's not the same energy. Oh no, I ain't mean it like that, and this that. It's like okay, man. Like so, a lot of them these got these harsh words for him. But, when you see these other stories about Justin Tucker, you know what I'm saying? When you see these stories about, other people struggling or going through that, they don't cover them like that. Even the baseball player, was it Trevor Bowers? They ain't really rip his ass like they ripped a lot of the other brothers. So you gotta understand too, all them dudes that's on TV, them brothers on TV, most of them Steven from Django. Most of them Steven from Django. They ignore, some of the other struggles that's going on. You never hear them bring up when Kerry Collins dropped the N-bomb in Carolina. That's how he got to the New York Giants. They don't ever bring up Bill Romanowski, but they'll continue to bring up guys like Jamarcus Russell. They'll bring up a number of guys. And I will say there are you know, some issues going on with some of the others. But nonetheless, with Shedeur, I mean, he's a young kid. He gonna make mistakes. He got ants in the pants, but he want to play. I'm not saying he shouldn't have said it, but own it. Fuck it. Why we can't be real? Why we can't be real? Why we can't be honest? Why is when we show as black men or people in general? Why is when we show confidence, cockiness, arrogance? All those things are synonymous with power, synonymous with masculinity, synonymous with the DNA that's pumping through your blood, testosterone to pump through your blood. You're an alpha. You're not a beta. Why can't we keep it real with each other? Why we can't keep it a being with one another? If I talk shit about somebody that walk in the room, I'm like, I was just talking shit about you. Why we can't keep it real like that? What they gonna do? Would you rather know? Or would you act like we both cool and shit like that? You know what I'm saying? That's what I don't understand. People want to be buddy and fake like everything okay, but eventually when you buddy fake like that, shit hit the fan. Why don't people be able to tell people how they feel and where they really stand at? I think life would be a lot more easier for people if you tell them where they stand at. I don't fuck with you. You a lazy motherfucker. You ain't gotta say it in that way, but yeah. But let's move on to Russell Wilson, right? So we had Richard Sherman. Tony Gonzalez said if there's ever a player that that he's seen that play himself out the Hall of Fame, it's Russell Wilson. And basically Richard Sherman was just giving us validation on how the Legion of Boom felt about Russell Wilson and felt that they carried him and all that stuff. And I say this, with Matt Flynn, y'all wouldn't have won a championship. That's a fact. That's a fact. With Matt Flynn, there wouldn't have been no championship. So say what you want to say about Russell. I think by the time he got with Sierra, I think that became a distraction and he just wasn't the same player when he got with Sierra. That's my opinion. Y'all can make that synonymous with Seattle and all that type of stuff, but he was with her with Seattle. But at the end of the day, I just felt like he got with her. He just ain't been the same player. And we've seen it happen before. We've seen it recently. Dude got with a woman and his career ain't been the same. I'm trying to think off the top of the dome who it was. Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. You know what I'm saying? Look at Cardi B and Stephon Diggs. I don't know he coming off the knee surgery, but sometimes, man, the signs is there. When you add somebody to your life and it get worse, you know what I'm saying? It get worse. Hey man, or a fraction of it get worse. And sometimes in Travis Kelce case, some parts get better, some parts get worse. But you notice when he was having fun with Kayla Nicole, he was on point. When Tiger Woods was down there having fun with Applebee's waitress, he was on point. He was on point. You notice that you don't have distractions, and if you have issues, you can pay for most of the issues to go away. Y'all don't never notice when these dudes get engaged, they get married, and it's just for a lot of these dudes, it is downhill. It is downhill. Hey, you got your LeBrons that, I love to see him giving marriage advice because I think if anybody can give some, it would be him, especially from an athlete's point of view for the athletes. So he gave some advice the other day. But he's been going down since he met her. And maybe the fame went to his head. Maybe she gave him a certain false confidence. But even before, right around that time he was courting and dating her and stuff, you got to remember it was rumors that they was playing. It was a drought in the locker room. Remember they was playing I just go in some Gucci flip flop. It was rumors they was playing that. So it was rumors that a lot of the Legion and Boom didn't really think Russell, he was corny. The same stereotypical shit I talked about in the Young Dro video. But I say this: if that was a Brad at quarterback, they wouldn't have said and did that. They would give him praise. That's why I say some of the biggest racists is black people, and I don't mean racist towards other groups. I mean racist to each other. But I don't think black people have the power to be racist outside of the black community. But I believe a lot of those brothers, man, are racist to each other. They stereotype each other, and it was just seeming like he couldn't wait to unleash on Richard Sherman can race to unleash that and say that. See, we was the reason we won the Super Bowl. Okay, take the quarterback away, see if y'all win it then with Matt Flynn. Y'all wouldn't have won it. We all know it. Y'all needed each other. Why is it gotta be, oh, if it wasn't for us or it wasn't for him, it wasn't for them? Guess what? Without Bill Belichick, what if another coach came in and he never gave Brady a chance and Brady's career never materialized and he went to go and sell insurance? Then what? So why can't Brady and Bill Belichick both get credit? You know what I'm saying? Why can't, you know, um, you know, Jimmy and Jerry both get credit? Why couldn't Kobe and Shaq both get credit? Why can't Tatum and Brown both get credit? Because without one or the other, you take them away, it ain't no championship. You know what I'm saying? Tom Brady went down with Matt Castle, he ain't win a championship. You can say, well, he went to Tampa, he won't. Cool. That's a whole different situation. They had a great roster. That's why he went there. He didn't go to the Lions and win shit. He didn't go to Cleveland and win shit. He went to a team. It was very, very thought out and picked out. So when I look at these situations, man, why does it got to be credit? It just seemed like dudes couldn't wait to unleash. Marshawn Lynch kind of saying on wax, he changed his number. He act funny. That's one reason I don't like athletes with microphones. Certain things should stay behind the scenes. As men, we shouldn't be gossiping. And I get what people say about the Club 520 podcast, and it is what it is, or come with me, whatever you calling it now. That they be gossiping and shit. Like, I get it now. Then my boy Gino from New Orleans said that they be gossiping on there, and I get it because a lot of this shit we shouldn't even be talking about on wax as men. Let the women do that. Our private or me trying to get in touch with you and they was fighting in the locker room. To me, it's very distasteful. I ain't saying what Tony Gonzalez said, but you notice they don't be saying this about Brad. They don't say this about Brad. QB Brad. Oh no, they don't. It's so easy to pile on black people because black people pile on black people. We don't draw the line. We draw that Brad. But it is what it is. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, follow me on X, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, the whole nine, everything inside the link tree. Join the Patreon. Peace.